Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to be a film that will end the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy itself by director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So, the one thing about Episode 9 that a lot of fans are really excited about is, of course, Palpatine's involvement in this story, as well as Kylo Ren, and how he's really going to evolve as a character through the ways of the dark side of the Force, mainly in the first and second act of Episode 9. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of Kylo Ren on his First Order Ravager ship, where it's described to be a scene that takes place within the first act of the film. It's described to be a moment in which Kylo eventually reaches his chambers and begins to hold onto a strange device or artifact that the Knights of Ren discovered that is described to be connected to Emperor Palpatine. It said that as Kylo holds the artifact, he begins to feel a strange presence calling to him and tempting him further to the dark side of the Force, where Kylo is said to eventually hear whispers. The dark side entity that Kylo feels is said to be the spirit of Sidious that is able to link with Kylo across the galaxy as he holds the device. One of the sequences is said to involve laughter in a faint way in the back of Kylo's mind. That is the laughter of the Dark Acolyte controlled by Sidious. The artifact that once belonged to Palpatine that was discovered by Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren is said to have been collected from one of the Dark Temples that holds other keys to immortality. The last describes a moment in which Kylo is looking at the window of his First Order Ravager, where he begins to feel the presence of Palpatine again. However, it's explained that Kylo does not know who it is, as Sidious is able to mask his identity through the Force. So let's go over a couple of parts about this, because we do know that Episode 9 is really going to focus heavily on Darth Sidious in this story. He's not going to be a mere cameo, he's not going to be a tiny little element in the story. He's really going to be a main character in The Rise of Skywalker, which is great. We do know that J.J. Abrams worked very closely with Ian McDiarmid, and even J.J., got to say that Ian did a fantastic job with the film, and I cannot wait to see exactly what Ian has to offer. So, with that being said, this whole entire sequence is said to take place within the first act of the film, and as one of the opening sequences for the actual movie itself, where Kylo Ren is on board of his First Order Ravager, holding this strange device that is said to have been collected by the Knights of Ren through one of the Dark Temples. Now, this device is said to have once belonged to Sidious himself, and is said to be one of the keys to immortality. Now, this device is actually able to let Kylo Ren link to the spirit of Sidious. Now, the thing about that is that this is where things begin to get a little bit more mysterious, because we do know that there are going to be a lot of Sith relics and artifacts in The Rise of Skywalker that's going to be expanded on in future novels, books, comic books, video games, whatever have you, right? And I think that's more of the inspiring part of Episode 9, is how it's basically going to be the foundation of something new, as well as the foundation of inserting a lot of Star Wars Legends material. And if you guys go ahead and look at the Legends material, you will find out that there are a lot of artifacts that can really benefit the character of Kylo Ren. So in this scenario, Kylo Ren feels the presence of a dark entity where he doesn't really know exactly who it really is, but it's actually Emperor Palpatine / Darth Sidious the whole entire time. Kylo just doesn't know, because Sidious is able to mask his own identity, similar to what he did in the prequels, and now he's able to do this even in spirit form. Now, while he's doing this, he is said to be in the body of the Dark Acolyte, where laughter is said to be heard within Kylo's mind in the background in a faint way. Now, like I've always said before in the past, and like I've always expressed, it really seems like that J.J. Abrams is really going to knock it out of the park when it comes to the dark elements of Episode 9. I don't know if you guys knew this, but there's a big plan in place here that Episode 9 is going to have darker themes than that of Revenge of the Sith, which I don't really know how they're going to perform that, because if you look at Revenge of the Sith, by far the two biggest dark moments, for me at least, in Episode 9, is when Anakin is burning on Mustafar and is ultimately becoming Darth Vader in the suit, where all the limbs are being attached to, whatever's left of him. That, by far, I don't know if you can really top such a dark moment like that in Revenge of the Sith. Also, let's not forget of him, igniting the saber and killing the younglings. All those different things. You know, I think that what they're trying to do with this movie is they're really trying to top it as one of the darkest Star Wars films to date, and the presence of Palpatine absolutely does that, and I think that's exactly why JJ really wanted to include him in the end of the teaser trailer, is to let people know that that is exactly what they are going for, which is great. So the last piece that I do want to say is how he's looking out of the First Order Ravager ship and out through a window where he feels the presence once again. And this is where Kylo is trying to figure out exactly who it really is that he's feeling. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.